100%.
All right, everybody, thank you so much for joining us. We are here to talk about the whole turkey situation and pretty much this whole week, really, because it's been like news gold this week. So I'm here with my friend Fred, and of course my husband Derek, who's also the omission. And we're just here to have fun and kind of talk about the week, wrap it up, kick off our weekend good. We had a great conversation earlier with the mouthy renegade writer and Walter Ryan. So I'm just trying to keep the good vibes going. Today was a great day. So I'm like, let's just keep it going. Let's talk.
I had forgotten, and I worked it in because I've been doing some comedy stuff this week because my God, the turkey stuff just keeps on giving. So I've been doing comedy stuff, and I worked in Jive Turkey. I forgot about it, and I worked it into one of my videos. And as she was doing the intro, do you know what I just realized that I forgot to work in?
Hmm.
So I learned the code name of the catering truck that because they all have the code names and stuff like what it is. Want to know what it was?
What?
Turducken.
What the hell? You are kidding.
No, I am kidding. I am kidding.
I knew he was. That's what I was waiting for. I was like, I know he's about to say. I know he's.
I was like, wait a minute. I sit there. I thought to myself, Turducken's been there the whole damn week, and I ain't worked it in nothing.
You didn't. Turducken.
I know. I had to slide it in. I'm like a freaking undergraduate, like shoving the damn paper under the professor's
When I
door.
saw that they put him in a food truck, I thought, have you ever seen a cat's face when you put it in catnip? I bet you that was the same damn look he had when they put him in there with all them snacks. I just want to know, was he growling when they pulled him out of the truck?
Well, so for those of you who don't know what happened,
Yeah.
Iran scared the shit out of Trump, and he thought they were gonna like fuck up his plane. So he, in front of all the cameras, went in the plane and then ducked out the back in a food cart into a safe plane, and then left his entire everybody on the bad plane.
He left.
He left Marco Rubio. He was like third in line.
He took Pete Hegseth with him, we know for certain.
And then Caroline Levitt quit the next day.
Yeah, well,
hours. She's like, I'm done.
He took the thing. Yo, and here's the thing. He left the Secretary of State and the National Security. He got like 10 jobs. And he took the printout gal with him. He took the printout gal.
He took the girl that wipes his ass. He took the Secretary of Defense, because I refuse to call him the Secretary of War.
No, he's a step-down.
And he took Melania's place while she's been MIA for 34 days.
So he made sure his ass was going to get wiped and his war was going to continue, but everybody else is expendable. Here's the kicker. Here's the thing that gets me. Okay, guys, look. This little goblin isn't riding on a Delta flight, okay? It's not like he's taking American Airlines. He's on Air Force One. Do you understand the technology that is on that fucking plane? There is no way in God's green acres, they were afraid of man pads. Man pads are not to play with to a plane that doesn't have the most advanced electronic warfare and divert, all the tech. So that was enough to scare this sumbitch to go, food truck. That's and I want to shake.
What are these food carts that he got?
No, but I mean, was it
in there?
Was it bulletproof? Was it?
No, God, no. It's not like it's not. No, here's the funny.
In alone, how did they get that in there?
I worked in aviation, right? And so I know exactly. I saw a picture. I was like, yep. And the food carts are basically they put them on where they raise them up, and you go into the galley door, right?
Yeah.
And it's thinner than a Connex box. It's made with aluminum.
They had
there's no cover. A 20, it might stop at 22.
Could he stand up it? Well, he should, because he tries to say he's over 6 foot.
Oh no, because when that thing it rocks back and forth, they got to lock everything down, right? So I'm just picturing him
suspended in cords.
Yeah, well, yeah. I don't know. I jokingly said they put him in a straight back, which is the wheelchair that you got to be put in if you're immobilized. We call it a straight back. So they put him in the wheelchair, and he's probably like, "I need a Diet Coke, get me the pretzels." And it's like, bro, don't go for the prepackaged food, man. Go for the, like.
You might need to turn your camera back off. Did you turn off the Wi-Fi before you connected?
Good question. Let me see here. You guys can keep talking. I'm gonna get my shit together. Just hold on,
dude. But it blew me. It's like the more that it came out. And here's the funny thing. So Turkey was quick to come out and say, "Yeah, bro, like that was Israel. That wasn't Iran." I pictured Iran just kind of showing up and just being like, "All right, man, hey, we're here to talk." And it's like, and then Israel just faking the funk, just, "We know what you did." And it's like, bro, what are you talking about?
Thing. Israel's been gaslighting the shit out of this man since the beginning. They're 2 weeks from a bomb for 47 fucking years. They're 2 weeks from a bomb, right? And then all of a sudden they're like, you hit Iran, they're going to fold. We're going to take the Hormuz. They had this whole fucking game plan. They go and hit it, right? Israel just came out and said, "Well, we're surprised by their ability to recuperate from the strikes." I'm like, well, no shit, because the intelligence that you were feeding them was bullshit. I've been in intelligence, and I'm telling you from the get-go, the intel has never played out that they were 2 weeks from a bomb.
Wait, hold on. I want to make sure I have this accurate. So the country that's literally been being prepared to be attacked for the last 2 or 3 decades is prepared to be attacked for the last 2 or 3 decades.
How would they ever have spent 40 plus years preparing every underground fucking facility and every above ground facility and being okay with what's sacrificial and what isn't? I mean, who could have thought of this? I'm gonna raise my fucking hand because I'm gonna tell you right now, I've done the threat analysis on Iran. I've seen it. I'm telling you right now, there was never any ability for them to do anything that everybody's okay. Look, Iran is not a good place.
No.
However, the Hormuz had 130 to 150 ships flowing through it. Oil was going through it, urea and fertilizer and everything. The world was spinning. The sun was coming up. The moon came. Everything worked how it was supposed to fucking work, right? Now, the same fucking country, Israel, is the one who gave this bullshit intel that the manpads were going to be fired from Turkey. Like the Turkish military and the Turkish intelligence services are shit. They are not, okay? The border with Iran is 5 hours away from Israel or something like that. So, I mean, you can, right? It's right there. It's right there. If you know that the opponent, the sworn enemy of your country is mentally deficient, you're going to do things that make him act in ways that allows for psychological warfare to sit and to produce this outcome because the thought of him...
They're fucking with him bad.
I mean, the idea of him stuffing his fat ass in a food cart so he can switch planes because they were afraid of him. They're going, "We're going to blow up your shit."
That to me, that was the funniest thing ever because it's like, all right, so let's check this out. To your point, you've got the most secure aircraft in existence in Air Force One. Now, they travel with like the Beast and all this other vehicles and everything. Because remember, like years ago, Fox News suddenly got all upset. They tried to make it a thing where it's like, Obama's going to Asia and it is costing the American taxpayer over 60 million or whatever it was. And it's like, you look at it, it's like, well, yeah, because it's the American president. And they were factoring in all the military stuff and this and that and everything else.
But it's already paid for.
And so I'm like, so wait a minute. You've got the Beast. You've got Air Force One. You've got the CIA. You've got all these things. And your plan is, here's what we're going to do. We're going to put you in this catering truck. That's aluminum.
Catering truck, though. It's tactical.
And then it's going to go from Air Force One over to this other plane. And it's going full. It's like, I swear to Christ, you can almost hear Waylon Jennings from the Duke Boys go, how's old Trump going to get out of this one?
Oh, boys, here we go. He's going to get out of this trouble. How's he going to do it? The food truck.
Was Roscoe P. Coltrane on the freaking, it's like, they're like, there's a shot of the freaking caterer and they're like, I know they're still on that plane. Good. Was Boss Hogg out there, with the Iranian flag going like, You get on that plane and you do what you got to do.
Woohoo!
Yeah, woo! This was like the ultimate prank call that we used to do before Star 69, before they could actually call you back, right? It was just
Right, yeah.
Is your refrigerator running? You better go catch it. And go hang up and you kick and you laugh, right? This was a prank call, is what this.
That's what it was. It's like, this is Iran. We're gonna blow up your plane, dude.
You should use a food truck.
Yeah. Are you in that one country? Yeah. Oh, you're in Turkey? Yeah. We're in chicken. Chicken cheese.
We're gonna take it over and name it chicken. You better run.
Right. And then it's like, what do we have on the chicken operation? They're gonna take over Turkey.
We're gonna call it turkeducken.
Yeah, where's the turduckens? But think about this. Look at the psychological impact that this has had, right? Look at the way this is played, not only with us, but the memes. God, they understand social media.
Yeah.
Dude.
If you want to be,
I have never seen anything as effective as that Lego freaking propaganda that Iran's been pushing out, right?
Right.
They're pumping it out, and I'm just like, man, I know this is state-sponsored propaganda, and I shouldn't share this, but I'm literally like, I'm the middle barber in Coming to America. I'm like, man, that country good. They good. Look at this.
Yeah.
Look at this propaganda. It's so good.
But that's the thing. Hey, look, if you identify it as propaganda, then it doesn't affect you. You just laugh at it, right? So it's the people that don't know, that don't question. It's like the ones that say, when you go, "Am I crazy?" Well, you're asking the question, so obviously you are not, right? So you know, right? Am I in a cult? You're asking the question, so now you know you're not. So it's like, if you are asking the question, you're not falling for it. And the whole point is not. It's just to undercut the main thing that these fuckers ride off of, pride. It's just to hurt their pride, because Low T Hegseth, he's out there just pushing, like, between the bleach injections, the testosterone injections, there's gonna be some really weird looking people moving around here.
Dude, like, that's what's crazy to me, is because and we're seeing this play out with the USS Abraham, like the Lincoln, right?
Yeah, that's bad stuff there.
Right. We're seeing this play out because the thing about Hegseth was, do you remember when he pulled in all the general staff, right? And he gave his little freaking BS pep talk. Like, he was sounding like a field officer.
And everything, yeah.
Yeah, he was sounding like a field officer talking about, we're war fighters and we need to do this, and we don't need fat generals and blah blah blah. It's like, bro,
the second lieutenant and told him to give a speech on military morale. It was
right, yeah, and you're looking at this going like, dude, logistics and intelligence is what moves, like, military might at that level, right? And so you're seeing that play out with the Lincoln, where it's just, there's no logistical support. There's no plan to, like, relieve them until, like, it's everything Trump does, where it's literally just, it has to get so bad, beyond the point of bad, then they do something. And it's this half-ass, like, we're sending to George Washington. To do what? What's the mission?
Well, there's a lot of water, and I heard that the fish out there were feeling insecure from all the missiles flying around, so they're going to go out there and they're going to make sure that they're safe. Yeah, I'm going to tell you, they didn't look. This, you can't make. Okay,
this is every night, you guys. This is when Derek and I are sitting down, and we don't even watch the TV show that's on. We just talk shit back and forth.
Well, yeah.
Well, okay. Guess who ran away today from the Houthis?
Who?
The Saudis.
Was it us?
The fucking Saudis. They were running away from them because they were coming in. They ended up taking territory. There's two major places where the Houthis came in and took over territory. One was near, I think, a place near called Hayes, and the fucking Saudi troops took off running. It's like, look, at this point, right? What are we doing here? What are we doing, folks? The Middle East is about to go up on
how long now?
You know what it is? There's one guy. There was one guy. There's like a guy who's been in, like, the Iranian general staff, and he's got the restoring the caliphate plan, and he's been dying to play it, right? And now he's starting to see it all, and he goes, And it's like people are starting to look at him. He's like, all right, Khalid, come over here. He's like, oh,
You got it. So step
we're
4.
gonna restore the caliphate. We're gonna do it.
He's gonna go into a food truck. Watch. Threaten the plane.
And all the people, like all the modern people are just like, I can't believe this mug's gonna be. He's gonna be right.
There was somebody in the U.S.
Khalid is gonna be right.
Yeah,
You know,
no, right. But somebody in the U.S. intelligence staff was going, mother of God. There was never a threat. Like, what are we doing here? And the plane they put him on was less prepared to handle a threat than the plane that everybody else
it was
on.
less prepared.
Which means if I'm the Iranians and I know his ass had to move to it, what's the new target going to be?
Yeah, I'm curious what they're gonna do next because they're right now like the Iranians. They know exactly how to keep him paranoid, and a paranoid and guy always ends up making mistakes, and they're killing it with that. I mean, they're really getting to him.
Well, they brought in psychologists in order to understand how they can undermine the mental capacity of a
Yeah.
dementia patient that's sundowning. This is exactly what the Iranians. That's the thing. The Iranians are not being secret. I mean, if you guys they're putting it's like what we used to say, right? When I was working at one of my companies, it was, we can give a competition the playbook, but they're not going to fucking do it the way we do it. Right. So the same thing's happening right now. The Iranians are saying, this is what we're going to do. And then they're doing it. There is nothing more demoralizing than looking at your enemy and go, like Bruce Lee, right? Think about like Bruce Lee. He's looking at it, he's like, I'm going to punch you in the stomach and I'm going to slap you in the face. And you guys like, the hell you are. And then
you can go to that. You can Google this. So I think it was like game 3 or 4. This is back in the 80s. Like,
I know what you're talking about. Michael Jordan told him exactly what he was going to do.
Yeah. No, it was not Michael, but it was Magic Johnson and Larry Bird, right?
That one too. Okay, yes. Yeah.
And no, Jordan would do the same thing because he got it from Bird, right?
Yeah.
So, like, Larry was saying, he's like, here's what's going to happen. I'm going to flare to the corner and I'm going to hit that shot and we're not going to overtime. And he did exactly that, right?
A whooping.
Dude, and the guys that talk about it, he's like, it's the most amazing and demoralizing thing ever. He literally said what he was going to do.
That's up there with getting your ankles broken on a crossover and everybody in the crowd's going, ooh, and then the dude looks at you and then hits that 3. Oh God.
They talk about the first 3-point contest and Larry Bird won it, right?
Yeah.
And he didn't take off his warm-ups. And apparently he went over to the bench and he said to everybody, he says, I don't know why y'all here. I'm winning this thing. Right? So he goes and shoots it and it gets down to, they had the colored ball, which was worth more points. He gets to the end and he just throws it up and he starts walking away like it went in and it goes in and he won. That's Iran right now, right? That's what they're doing.
Admiring the tactics and
dude,
of an enemy is not bad because you're learning, right? I have learned a lot. Shit, we used to watch the Taliban and we'd watch them from drones and you would watch them move and you'd watch them operate. And sometimes you went, shit, that's clever. But you have to look, real recognize real. Okay. Every once in a while, some people, your enemy does some shit that makes you go, ooh, I don't know if I like that. That would have fucked me up. But you learn.
It's the worst thing in the world, man, when you're like, I mean, if you've played sports and somebody's like, I mean, even if they don't tell you, you're like, the coach tells you this is probably what the opposition is going to do. You need to go out there and you try and they do it and you can't do nothing.
Well, I just looked over at the chat and Stuart said rope-a-dope. And I'm thinking,
that's exactly what it is. Yep.
Because what happened during that when Foreman was just pounding on Muhammad, and after everything was done, and he just looked and said, is that all you got? And George Foreman said in that moment, he thought to himself, he goes, oh, I'm in trouble. And that's
and all the lead up, the psychological stuff that he would do, because like they were training and that was the Zaire fight.
Yeah.
And they're training in Zaire. And Ali would go into like Foreman's camp with people from the area and talk smack to him.
That was crazy.
And it was, I mean, the psychological aspect of
you ain't nothing. I'm so bad I make medicine sick.
No one could trash talk like Ali, dude.
Trash talk. Man,
Oh my God.
he was in there. I used to listen to that whenever, those things would come on HBO when I was a kid and my dad would be watching it. And man, Muhammad Ali, I love listening to his smack talk because I knew when I went back to elementary school and next week, I would be saying some out of pocket stuff because that's what I did. I'd go in there and there was a TV show called Snaps. I don't think we talked about this before. And it was on HBO back in the 90s, and they had all the Yo Mama jokes. Man, I went in fresh every week with new mama jokes. I tell you right now, I'm surprised I didn't have my ass whooped behind the school because I was nothing but a gap tooth, big glass wearing little skinny thing, and I'm up there just talking trash. You couldn't stop me for shit.
That's hilarious, dude. I mean, the embarrassment on the world stage of the, because and here's what kills me is like whatever you think about Joe Biden went to Kyiv, man. He met with Zelensky, during an active war, and like, and here's Trump in Turkey, and the Iranians, they don't have any reason to kill him. They're like, bro, you're messing up. Why would we kill you?
Let me be president, okay? I'll go to Turkey on the damn plane. Hell, I'll take United, and I'll wear a tan suit. You hear me? I ain't scared of shit. I'll walk over there. Hell, I'll ride on top of the food truck like it's a bull on the way to the plane when I come back. Like I will make a fool. But I'm gonna tell you right now, they ain't gonna sit there, but you ain't gonna try me. Because if somebody's willing to do that shit, you imagine what I'm ready to do on the other side of that shit. And I got the entire arsenal of the United States military behind me. Oh, somebody's getting prank called.
Oh no, what I would do, I'd have to do the kayfabe on it, man, because I do the rest. I tell all the women, it's like, all right, I'm gonna get out this car, I'm gonna walk up these stairs. Y'all need to carry on like, down, Frederic, down. I'll be like, I got this. I got this. I'm walking up. I tell the Secret Service, protect the women.
And drinking them in it.
I'd walk up those damn stairs like Jim Duggan and Stone Cold Steve Austin carrying American flag. And then get to the top, crack 2 beers, and
look, and then grab a microphone out of nowhere and be like, "Ain't nobody stopping this train of pain, baby."
I mean, Trump could have done what he did on the portico.
Remember, and a feminist walk into a bar. By the way, here we are.
I mean, Trump couldn't even do what he did. Like when he was on the portico. Remember when his ass had COVID, and he's standing there, and he's. Like he's standing there, he's huffing and puffing, man. And every single, me and every single one of us, you know what we're thinking? We're like, come on, man, just one more timber, give me timber, fall over.
Breathing so hard, I could hear it sucking the air through his diaper up his ass. He was pulling air from pores.
It's like, you know what? It's like you got the filter and the AC that ain't working. It's like,
yeah. I know. He took that mask off. I was like, this is it. This is the day.
Well, I'm sure all of us, when we heard that he had COVID, we all went, yes.
I went, oh.
And then he survived. And I was like,
I tried to say no. I tried, but look, nobody cries when somebody evil meets an end. Okay?
No, I don't feel bad talking about evil people in that regard either.
How many times have you watched the movies?
Never wish death or anything on.
Oh my God!
Because
we hadn't talked in a while. Remember Lindsey Graham when all those fools came out and were just like, he was such a great colleague. I knew it was coming, and so the moment I found out he died, I woke up. I said, "All right, I'm you know what? Fred's gonna throw it down." I'm like, I'm glad he's dead. Here's a whole ass life.
You did a Lindsey Graham marathon that day. I know. That was great.
Right now, when I woke up and I looked at that, I went, Lindsey Graham is dead. And the first thing I thought was, I wonder if all the ladybugs ran off.
Ew. God damn it. You know what's funny? Because when he told me, we were sleeping and he got up before me, of course, and he doesn't, he's respectful and doesn't want to wake me up. So he just like plays on his phone while I'm sleeping. And I wake up and I open my eyes and I look over and he's like staring at me like this. He's like, Lindsey Graham died. Good morning to you too.
been waiting for 35 minutes to tell your ass, but you on the store. I'm like,
He did too. He just was like, hey.
hey,
Hey.
hey, how you doing? Sleep well? I got some good news for you.
Yeah.
You know what I felt like that morning? I felt like I walked in and I was the NCO on day duty and something was messed up and I grabbed the dang clipboard and I walked over to Death, who's the private on duty, and I pointed my finger at Mitch McConnell and he's like, oh, yeah, I did that. I was like, Mitch McConnell, what is this?
You missed.
You missed.
How the fuck do you miss? We picked you for a reason.
Well, I don't think they did miss. They're
No.
keeping him on ice right now.
No, that's what he told. He's like,
Fred,
look,
he
man.
is a Bonner. He is
Eh,
not
I-
patient anymore.
Doing the
Nah.
giant cockroach.
And you know, the pride was like, hey, that's my bet. I tell you what, I'm gonna give you that one, and I'll get the other one. I promise you, Sarge, I'll get it.
If there's anything that this whole world has taught us, is that
Yeah.
you can do all this bad you want, and you're gonna catch your end, and your end is gonna be fucked up, and something's gonna happen. So really, it is the patience of those that watch. It's like my dad said: the same people that you stepped on to get to the top are the same ones waiting to fall. And boy, we waiting. We just watch it too. Like, help me.
No, God, no.
Hell no.
You know, it's funny. That's exactly what I thought about with Dr. Fauci, right? When they pulled him in. And the thing that a lot of people, but it's like, oh, the Fifth Amendment, all that. Yeah. I got all that. But you go back to the '08 crash and how we kind of mitigated ourselves through that is like, money was not moving through the banks, right? And so a lot of people, like how the economy works is there's short-term loans that are made to like all kinds of businesses, right? Because everybody doesn't keep cash on hand to just kind of spend and do whatever. And basically all money kind of just stopped. Banks were panicking and was like, no. And it was very smart people in the treasury, like your bureaucrats that were like, you know what? All right, we got to make some calls. We got to do this. We got to get money moving again. And we're headed to Great Depression, run on the banks, all this. It's going to get bad. They got it moving. You look at what's coming now, right? And what they did to Fauci and all the people Doge fired and all this other stuff. This is what worries me because it's like those same people, like Fauci saved millions of lives. He was responsible for warp speed. And anytime you're doing something that big and that fast, you're going to make mistakes. And they did. And the smart people are looking at him going, wait, they did that to him? You know what? You got this, bro.
Yeah,
You got this, bro.
But here's the kicker, right? Say what you want. People can say however they feel. How you feel about Fauci is how you feel about Fauci.
Right.
But think about what the fuck we were looking at, right? This is not supposed to be here, but the dipshits didn't decide to shut down the air to keep the damn stuff over there. And, there was no real quarantining, which honestly, it was airborne months before they said it was fucking airborne, right? So that's kind of, we don't have the people in play to do this right now. So, okay. Here, let's throw this on another foot then. Okay. They had a fit. They don't want to wear masks. Looks like Patriot Front missed the fucking memo because they sure wear masks and hoods and these other racists like to wear this shit. Well, apparently that, they can breathe just fine through that, but I digress. So they had an issue with COVID vaccine coming out. What happened when Ebola showed up in the United States? They had a fucking vaccine in 30 days? And they had boom, vaccine. We got this. Nobody gave a shit. Now, what if that would have gone the same way COVID did?
Yeah.
People have been screaming about the fucking vaccine. And once they start bleeding out every fucking pore they got, and I don't know who started that COVID gave you the boo-boos, but they need to be slapped in the mouth.
Oh, and there was that toilet paper run?
That's what I'm talking about. Like,
that was the dumbest ass shit.
That was the dumbest.
Dude,
man.
People
spent their life savings on that shit thinking that they were going to sell them
I
toilet
had COVID 3 times. And in that 3 times, never did I ever go to the bathroom more than I should have. I remember what the hell that toilet paper run was for, but I mean, I felt like I was dying, like I couldn't breathe and stuff. But
I was technically I was at the front end of that because when COVID was happening, I was working at LAX for a ground handler, and we had all the China Air stuff, right?
Mhm.
So, like, right around Christmas, like when it was breaking out in Wuhan, it was like, hey, there's a new virus coming out, right? We think it's like the avian flu, and so this is for the cabin cleaners. You got to make sure about this, this, and this. And that was like, so like I spent months really at LAX getting the same update, right? Thinking it's the avian flu, it's the avian flu, it's the avian flu. And what did it for me was I changed jobs. I was with another carrier, and I was at home, and I had a 4-day split, right? And that's when they were already starting to do the toilet runs and everything else, and things were starting to go crazy. So this is March, right?
Yeah.
And I remember I'm watching TV. I'm sitting in the living room, and I see a report. The NBA is canceling the season, and they showed Rudy Gobert touching all the microphones, right? And then they said he tested positive for COVID. And I went, damn. And then Major League Baseball canceled their season. And I looked at my roommate and I said, I'm going to Denver. And he's like, oh, okay, cool. When do you think you're going? I was like, down the road. I said, I'm going to be leaving in about an hour. And he's like, are you serious? I'm like, yeah, I'm going to pack up and I'm outie, bro. And he's like, why? I said, I ain't getting locked down in LA, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
I said, so I said, I'm boogieing on out before they close it. And he said, why are you thinking that? I said, because billionaires don't shut nothing down.
Not
Unless nothing, unless it's worse than, it's super bad.
Yeah.
And all these billionaires just, because these leagues don't shut down, for those of you who don't know, all the team owners, all of them have to agree to it.
Yeah.
All of them. And that means all these billionaires said, nah, we got to shut this down.
And they don't agree on shit.
Nothing. They're like, yes, we're going to lose money.
Well, that's like putting that's like putting 15 different Baptist preachers in the same room and trying to get them all to agree to the same thing. That ain't happening. You ever been in a room with Baptist preachers? They ain't agreeing on shit.
You know what? I got a good Baptist joke in Tennessee if you want, because we were telling jokes before we started. I was like, I got a good Baptist joke. You want to hear it?
Let's hear it.
Right? Okay. So folks in Judaism, they don't recognize that Jesus Christ was the Son of God, right? He's the prophet, like blah, blah. The Catholics don't recognize Martin Luther, right? And Protestant Reformation, all that stuff. Baptists don't recognize each other in the liquor store.
You damn right they don't. You damn right. Boy. You don't see me, Brother John.
Nope.
You don't see me either, Brother Duke.
No. It might be a glance. It's a glance. It might.
I had a friend. I actually got it still, but he Black Baptist Church.
Right.
He's an usher in the Black Baptist Church.
Oh,
Lord of mercy. So he's standing there, he's helping, usher people in, making sure they get to their seats, making sure it's filled up properly, right? And preacher walk in. And preacher walks up to him and pulls a 45 out of his pants, out of his holster, and goes, hold this for me there, brother. And he's like, yeah, preacher. So he's holding a 45. Preacher goes up to the top and you can hear pouring because he's got liquor under the pulpit. He sips it and he goes, morning, everybody. And everybody, morning, preacher. And
that's that.
Sweating halfway through that liquor moving through him, and he's doing the dance. He's all in it, man. The band's going. I'm not gonna lie, it was a hell of a time.
Oh yeah.
But I know when I was talking to my boy, I looked at him and I said, "The preacher looked drunk." He goes, "Preacher's always drunk."
Right. Here's the thing: when they say the spirit's moving through them, they didn't specify what spirit.
It is spirits. It is a spirit.
Yeah, I grew up Catholic, and every single time, like my ex-in-laws, they were, of course, elders in the church, and Monsignor would be over every single Christmas, and every single Christmas, someone would have to help him into a cab to get home.
I am using that every single. You better not get
Italian too, so he'd be like, "Oh, you brought the baby," and I'm like, "Don't touch him." Sit safe. Don't touch
What
him.
is it? We had a Catholic chaplain when I was in the Marine Corps, and he would always get blitzed with this, man. You know,
What is
like,
it with chaplains getting drunk, man?
dude, the Catholic chaplain would always get blitzed. You know,
I told you.
he'd be sitting there trying to talk to you. He says, well, you know what's worse than being out here training in these 29 palms? I said, what's that? What's that, chap? He's like, that's the hellfire that's waiting for you if you don't. And it's like, you know.
Oh, damn.
Good
Yeah.
Lord.
Yeah. I had
Yeah.
one.
And I
I
said,
told you.
I said, yeah. I said, you know, and here you go, here's another one.
I had one, and I told you we were at Fort Irwin training, right?
Yeah.
I'm in that big tent with everybody. You know, there's 2 of them, but
Oh yeah. Yeah. Man.
smells like man. Smells like men. That's what it smells
Oh
like.
yeah.
Man.
Smell like man. And it's dark, right? It's early morning.
Oof.
I'm about to get up. Everybody's about to get up. Everybody's just waking up. And all I hear from the other side is, Melina, where's my pants? Knew that was the chaplain asking for the chaplain's assistant. And I went, what the fuck? What the chaplain's assistant know where your pants are, Jack? What the hell? But I'm telling you, that was the worst thing to do early on at Fort, like we first got. That was terrible. Because every time I went to the chow hall, Melina, where's her pants? That's all we kept saying the whole fucking month. You know, I'm under a misting shower like this trying to wash myself, and it's just spitting at me, cold as hell. It's in the middle of winter up there. And any time, and butt naked, I didn't give a damn. Melina walked by, I was like, Melina, where's my pants? I didn't give a damn. It warmed me up, warmed that cold, dark part of my heart just to mess with him the whole time.
Do you have any good impressions from back in your Marine days? Because Derek's he's just a walking impression. He's got.
Oh my God.
I'm gonna ask him too because he's got some really great drill sergeant impressions.
So this will kind of let y'all understand. You know, Fred. It's like, oh, Fred, when have you been like kind of raucous and rabble rousing? I've always been this way, right? I kind of came by it honest.
Yeah.
So I was at training, and we had this staff sergeant, right? And he's one of these nut jobs like that probably went like way off the reservation by this point. Like he was the one I'll give you an idea about this guy. So he had like a sinus infection once.
Mhm.
And I was talking to him. I said, hey, you doing okay, staff sergeant? He's like, and he talked just like this. He said, well, Poag, I have a sinus infection and it's putting me out. And I said, oh, okay. I said, did the doc get you on antibiotics? He says, I don't believe in antibiotics because if you take antibiotics, it weakens your natural immune system and it makes you a less effective warrior. You know, he was that guy, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I was a jackass 19-year-old Lance Corporal, right? And I'd watched Platoon one too many damn times.
No,
And so I bought off post, I bought a punch dagger and I put it up right here on the left side. I'm a right-handed shooter, so it's right. But I put it on the left side of my LBV, right?
Mhm.
And mostly I just kind of grabbed it to, you know, open MREs and that kind of stuff and everything else. So doesn't this staff sergeant come up to me when we're doing weapons draw, right? And he's like, what's that you got on your load-bearing vest? Because he wouldn't say LBV, right?
Lord.
He got to pronounce all the acronyms,
God
right? Right? What's that you got on your load-bearing vest, Poag? And I'm like, well, it's a punch dagger, staff sergeant. He says, why do you have a punch dagger on your load-bearing vest, Lance Corporal? You know, I said, well, you know, I said I bought it and, you know, I kind of just wanted someplace to put it. It's handy to, you know, just kind of open MREs or something. It's just there it is, you know.
Yeah.
But it's easier than drawing the K-bar, right?
Right.
Or open up the Leatherman. And he's like, and so here's the thing. He instead of just telling me, get that shit off your gear, which I got to do it. He wants to be smart.
Oh,
Okay. So he goes, let me ask you something there, Lance Corporal.
there it is.
What weapon system do you carry? I said, oh, besides the small? And I said, M16. He says, let's say you have your M16. Are you right-handed? I said, I'm right-handed, yeah. He says, so you put it on your right shoulder? I said, yes, I put it on my right shoulder, Staff Sergeant. He says, what happens if your right arm gets blown off in combat? And then you have to switch to your left and fire out of your left. And you've got the punch dagger in the way, and you're not going to be able to fire effectively. Now, my ass, I could have said at that moment,
I did.
I could have said, "You're right, Staff Sergeant. Wow, that's some good insight. Let me take this off." But no. What I do is I said, "Oh, you said my right arm's blown off." He says, "Yep." Well, if I don't die from the shock or the blood loss on the immediate traumatic injury to my right arm, I said, I'm going to be firing with one arm anyway. I'm not going to have the other arm to brace it. So I'm going to have aiming problems whatever way, regardless if the punch dagger's there or not, Staff Sergeant. And I looked at him dead in his face like this, right? And he's looking at me, and I could literally see his face get redder and redder and redder. And he goes, "Take the goddamn punch dagger off, Poag." And I said, Staff Sergeant.
I had a guy, I had a drill, it was at AIT. He spoke the King's Spanish.
Oh my God.
And this is accurate because I've seen the actual video of the guy talking. So this is, I mean, what you're about to hear and see right now is accurate.
No.
He came into our bay and didn't know who this fucker was, right? Didn't even know his name. And he just kicks the door in. Boom! Who says my name without the fear?
What? No. No, come on, man.
I shit you not, sir. And we all looked over like, what's the name to say without the fear? You know? So,
was he wearing a cape? Did he have on a mask?
You know, he came in hot, man. He wore his beret all fucked up. He didn't.
Yeah, no, I know.
He didn't do the thing, right? He didn't have it over. He didn't have it creased. He just put it on. It was the wildest thing, man. But he got mad at us one day. And he couldn't call Cadence for anything. I don't know how he.
Oh, of course not. No.
But so he gets pissed off, and we're all squad leaders. And he pulls us into the room, and he's just giving us a dress down, and we're all just trying not to laugh because he's like, I'm just thinking it's like a fucking Muppet. And he finally goes, "If you do this again, the shit and the cat and the fan are all going to hit the ceiling." And I'm like, and I'm at parade rest going, Joaquin, this ain't me, man. I can't hold this shit. I don't have that ability.
Sergeant, I can't tell if you're mad or just slightly perturbed.
I don't know what it was. But so there's a video of me doing that impersonation that they wanted me to do. I was asleep. It was after graduation at AIT, and they had us outside for some reason, and I'm just sitting there. I'm asleep like this, and everybody comes over. "Hey, man, wake up. I wasn't asleep. You know, because we're still wired up. You know, it's been 16 weeks of ass whooping, and they go, no, they want you to do the impersonation of drill sergeant. And I was like, oh, guys, this isn't a good idea. Nope. They got me in there. My buddy's got a head.
Circled around him.
Oh, yeah.
Like cows in a field. Like there was all these soldiers circling, and Derek's just in the middle of the circle doing this impression of this drill sergeant.
They put a beret on me that was probably 2 sizes too big to match. And they just put it on my head and pushed me into the middle in front of First Sergeant. That's that.
No. Oh, that's so messed up, bro.
And the CO. And
that's messed up, bro.
And I got out there, and I mean, look, I've been doing comedy stuff my whole life.
Right. Yeah.
I've been the class clown. I'm the guy. But in that moment, everything in my life came to one moment, and in that thought went, why the hell are you this guy? Like everything you've done in life right now put you here. Congratulations, dipshit. So, of course, I get pushed in the middle. I looked around, and the first thing that came out of my mouth was, "Who says my name without the fear?" And that was the first. CO's mouth drops open. First Sergeant bends over laughing. The guy that I'm doing the impersonation of, he's like this. You know, everybody is froze cold over there. And I thought, well, in for a penny, in for a pound. So I did his jacked up cadence. I did the cat and the shit and the fan are all going to hit the ceiling. I did the whole thing. I did the shut the fuck up and get information. You know, I did the whole thing. And brother, I'm telling you right now,
man, I wish I would have had that video queued up. We could have showed everybody because it
killed.
Was fun.
Who says my name without the fear?
Who says my name without the fear? Oh, so I got one more story for us. Sorry. So we're all in formation early in the morning. And he shows up and, we're all formed up. We're all waiting out front in front of the barracks. And he comes in and I guess he had a bad night. I don't know. And he comes in and he's giving us instructions. And further down the line, we hear, "Who says my name without the fear?" Somebody does an impersonation. And he whips this fucking coffee cup, just whips this mug at the guy. Wow, just steel mug, just cracks him, right? And everybody's sitting there going, trying not to laugh. Don't laugh. God, Jesus, don't laugh. But he just got to smacking this man with a coffee. And I couldn't stop myself. And I went, "You made me waste my Starbucks, fucker." And so everybody is losing it. And it was a bad day. It was a bad day.
Everybody's getting smoked because
everybody got smoked that day.
But we had so they did, I don't know what it was. We went to like AIT or something. So you go to another barracks on the island. It's like when you're doing like the different weapon systems, whatever at that chow hall, they had like brisket with cornbread. And this cornbread was the driest, it's like this British naval warfare, like freaking biscuit, that kind of thing. Yeah. Terrible. And we're sitting in there, right? And we're getting close to the end, right? So we're like 2-3 weeks out from graduation.
Oh, yeah.
And we're all doing the freaking Aliens reference, with the guy. "I guess you didn't like the cornbread neither, right?" Like that kind of stuff. We're going back and forth with this. Well, doesn't one of the assholes that was not a drill instructor working tell our drill instructor, the heavy, right, that we were joking and laughing and doing all this crazy stuff at chow. So we get back. Drill instructor Sergeant Norman. Now, I'm 6'5" in real life. And I kept thinking, when I get to boot camp, I'm tall. The only thing I'm going to see is the top of the smoky. Like, I just eyes front, I'll be good. So one of my heavies was drill instructor Staff Sergeant Featherstone, big black dude who was 6'4.5", who Smokey hit me right here on the tip of the nose. Sergeant Norman was 6'8", and his Smokey came down on my head and I was like this. And he looked like Cro-Magnon Man with the jowls and the hand that was bigger than my whole freaking head, right?
Right.
So we go back, and he's just like, and Sergeant Norman was the kind of guy, he was like, he was great drill instructor. He used to, first time I ever heard "Man in the Arena" was him. He used to say that to us, the whole speech, when we'd have lights out and he was on duty, right? And so, he's like, "I hear you guys are talking in the chow hall." I was like, "Oh shit, here we go."
Oh, here we go.
And he's mad and just he's like, "You're freaking undisciplined and blah 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 blah. I gotta hear that." And he literally, he's like, "You've been screwing up on drill. You've been screwing up on it." And so we had the metal racks, right? Grabs a rack, okay, and pulls it and swings it and throws it across the highway. And it crashes in to another rack. Guys are literally diving out the way, right, to avoid it. He was mad, right? Because the senior called him. Because the guys in chow called the senior, and the senior called him, right?
Yes.
And so he's just furious. And to your point, and this is why I'm telling the story, because my whole life I moved around a lot. I was a jokester, and I just felt the moment, and I said out loud, "I guess he didn't like the cornbread neither."
You psychotic sucker at that point.
Norman called the other two drill instructors, Garrity and Featherstone. He said, "Take him outside, otherwise I'm gonna kill him." Like, "Poag, come with us." It was just me in the pit outside.
Bro, I guarantee you they laughed their asses off at that down the line. But it's probably one of the stories they tell. But you're probably in legendary time. This son of a bitch.
I did. I don't know what possessed me. Because for all of you who've never been a trainer, there crosses a moment when you kind of become immune to, the first 3 or 4 weeks, you're just like, "Oh my God, oh, somebody's yelling at me, oh Jesus, blah, blah, blah." And then after a while, it starts to be funny. It just starts to be kind of, you just kind of take it. And we had kind of crossed that threshold where it was like, we're gonna have to pick this up, and because we're gonna have lights out at this time. I mean, it's only so, yeah, and so it's like, and so when he did it, and he's just like standing there, just like hulking out, I just said something in my brain said, "Bro, do it,
You know,
say it."
you know those thoughts that you're not supposed to do?
Right?
That's that. I had the drill sergeant she's talking about is I had a gay drill sergeant.
Yeah.
I didn't know at the time that that was a thing, but he was Ranger. And I'm telling you right now, I got nothing but mad respect for this crazy son of a bitch because he is absolutely batshit crazy. But his chest candy, he had a silver star. You know?
Yeah.
Like he was so squared away, you'll cut yourself on on the edges. Like this guy was he was badass. But he was crazy. Okay.
Of course.
And
You
so,
don't get a whole chest full
no,
of candy without being and
but
still be sane. It doesn't happen.
but what I'm saying is he was comedic gold. Like this
Oh
man,
yeah. Oh, he's one of them.
you know, he was, what the fuck are you doing? Get from in rest position, move. Like that was the way he yelled. That was the way he talked.
Again, accurate.
The first time I heard him, I thought he was playing with us because he was like, gather around, sergeant, get around, privates, sit down, privates, sit down. And
Oh
I'm
my
thinking,
God, dude.
he's doing this as a like he's messing with us, right? He's got to be messing with us. So
Yeah.
and
No.
we're all looking at each other because this is like day one, and we just got through running across the fucking grass with our stuff, and this woman took it right into a ditch, and she hit, and her sea bag on top of her, and she hit, and I went over. People would go over to grab her, and he was the first one I heard. He goes, "Do not help her!" And so I was like, "Well, she's on her own." So I'm still running. So I'm gone, right? And so, but what got us the most was when he put you in the front line of rest, which is push-up position. He had this, he'd fuck with you psychologically, and he would stand behind you and he would do a song.
Oh.
He would do his song. He would say, "Bow in the back." And so,
No.
right? And you had to push up, and you'd push up, and guess who's standing there to feel them hips? Old drill sergeant. And then he would hold
psychological.
it, and then he'd go, sag in the middle. Like he did this snapping shit. And so, and he would smoke you this way. And
that would be horrible.
it was
because like we had two heavies because they were training so many drill instructors when I went through, and so we had two. Usually you have one. You have the senior heavy, and then you have like your juniors. We had two heavies.
Yeah,
and because they were training both of them to be seniors, right after, and so like Norman was the big Cro-Magnon one that had the booming voice that like if he yelled at the top of his lungs, you'd like check the portholes, the windows to see if they hadn't shattered, right? And Featherstone was this guy who never raised his voice, right? He'd just go.
I had one that wouldn't.
Yeah, he would do. He'd go like, "Oh, okay. What do you want to play?
Did.
All right, go play on my quarter."
Yeah.
And it was like mountain climb, push.
Yeah,
flutter kicks.
It'd yell.
Yeah,
of everybody.
Yeah, and so so you would get one or the other, and so you were kind of always discombobulated, right? Because you're sitting there like he's not yelling at you, but he's smoking the shit out of you, right?
Yeah.
Smoking means like what that means for everybody who is not military is like you have to do what they call like punishment. It's physical training punishment, and it's push-ups and mountain climbers, and smoking means they tell you there's no rest. It's like mountain climb, so you start mountain climb. It's like push-ups and then sit-ups, and you keep
get on your back, do flutter kicks.
You just keep keep going until they say stop. It's and so but yeah, Featherstone he was that guy, right? And I remember there's one day, and this is the psychological stuff they do to you. Like,
yeah, they do.
I did something, I can't remember what it was. And what it was I didn't do the something, right? It was the one time that I didn't do it, and I got blamed for it, right? And it was the guy next to me. But I'm not going to dime the guy out next to me. He's my buddy, right?
No.
So I'm up there, and I'm getting smoked for something I didn't even do, right? So I said, all right, I'm going to do, what you call it. But I'm trying to remember, or I'm not going to sound off. Like he's like, because we're supposed to say, they say mountain climbers, you're supposed to say mountain climbers, aye, sir. Yeah. I'm just not going to do it. I'm going to do it, right? But I'm not going to sound off. So this is a losing battle, when and so he's going through and he's making me do this, blah, 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 blah. And he finally says, hey, you want to stand? You don't have to sound off. I'm not gonna do it. Hey, once to end, you have to sound off. I'm not gonna do it. Hey, if you want this to end, you sound off. And finally, I got so mad, and I'm just like, ah, sir. Like I just yelled at the top of my lung. And he comes up to me, he goes, "Why can't you do that every time?"
Because he can't.
Motherfucker.
Well,
Hey, guys,
yeah.
there's a question in the chat that I want to address because this is something that I actually am curious about too.
Mm.
So Brittany said, "My brother is a Marine, was a Marine, but you can't say that or they'll yell at you and make you cry." So the question is, how do you guys feel about veterans that don't speak out about what is happening to our troops right now? Because like I'm a mother of a soldier, and I don't support what's happening, and it's really kind of like I feel like if my son ever gets in contact with me again, I'm not going to be the supportive thing that he thinks I'm going to be, and I kind of struggle with it going back and forth, like how am I going to be? Because I really hate what they're doing over there. I hate the fact that he's even part of the military and he's got that attachment on him right now. So what
I
say
so
you from a
so
Marine and an Army guy's point of view? Like, what do you say to veterans that don't speak out about what's happening right now?
so I'm gonna give you two answers, and they're gonna make sense. You know, there's the what I would say to the public about the veterans, and then what I would say to my fellow veterans, right? So what I would say to the public is I would say, look, veterans, hardly any of the folks in the United States really serve in the armed forces. It's a very small percentage, right? And when you go in there, you give up a lot of your freedoms to speak out. I know the questions for veterans after, not active duty people, right? And so I look at this as like it's not incumbent upon veterans to speak out and say anything against what's going on. It's for the American people to pull their head out of their ass and actually for them to say it. Now, to those veterans who aren't speaking out, I would freaking, and this is very much a veteran kind of thing to do. I'd look at them and say, "What the frick is wrong with you, bro? Like,
Mhm,
our brothers and sisters are in harm's way right now, and you're not speaking out, and you're not saying any freaking thing. No, speak
mhm,
the frick up, dude. Right?
yeah,
This is not right. You know this isn't right. When we were in, we wouldn't, we would want someone to speak for us, and
mhm,
you're not speaking. What the hell's wrong with you? You know more than anybody that this is wrong because you lived it. Why
mhm,
aren't you talking?" And that's how I feel about it, right? So I give like veterans. So in a nutshell, yes, veterans need to speak out. That like because the people that are it's on the ship, they they don't have any power. They're stuck.
yeah.
They don't have any power. They're stuck. And it's
Now
forget
there's
the career.
another ship out there to replace them, and they're never coming home. He's
And I
gonna
mean,
them too.
and that's the thing that kills me, man. Is like, and I hate it because you look at it, you go, it's like, oh, well, all these, every single veteran, every single one will complain about, man, people don't care about our sacrifice, man. Citizens don't care about, who'd you vote for? Oh, I voted for Trump.
Yeah.
You know, yeah. There you go ahead, Derek. Like,
Yeah,
that's how I feel
that's
about it,
kind of what
man.
I'm saying though too, because my son lived with us before he joined, and he joined during peacetime. So we were actually kind of like, okay, well, you know what, join the military, get your little discipline that you need to get your GI Bill, go to school, and case closed,
Yeah.
And he went, then all of this shit happened because he joined in, I think, the end of 22 or the beginning of 2023. And then all of this happened. And now, at Fort Bragg, which is the last known base I thought, that he's been at, they've deployed anywhere from like 2 to 3,000 soldiers since the last time I talked to him, which was April 2nd of this year. So, I have no idea if he's deployed, but I do know that he was very rah, rah, rah. And I couldn't for the fucking life of me understand it because when he lived with me and Derek, like he understood, like Trump was not a good guy. And it was like this election was huge and got to vote for the right thing and even we talked about, like what happened, like he wasn't worried. I wasn't worried about him going to war. I legitimately in my heart of hearts thought Kamala was going to win.
Yeah.
So there's a part of me that feels guilty too because I supported him to go join the service. But as soon as he joined the service and as soon as Trump got elected, I saw a huge change in my son. Huge change in my son. And I don't know if it's because of all the indoctrination that's happening in the military because I know that they're brainwashing our kids. I
Yeah.
mean, he started saying all these things where I'd look at him and I'm like, what the fuck what are you talking about? Like, oh, I didn't realize you changed your, you did a 180 on that viewpoint, So it was really hard for me to kind of accept. And I still haven't accepted it because I'm just like, this isn't him, I was like, this isn't you. I don't know if you're just going along with things to stay safe or to, maintain that brotherhood. I don't know what it is, but um, I just know that I haven't talked to him since April 2nd. I have no idea if he's deployed. I called the inspector general to see if they could give me a wellness check on him. Just tell me, like, has he been deployed or is he still stateside? They would give me no information. And I quote the captain that I talked to, I think it was a captain or whatever that I talked to. He said, if you don't have two uniformed military officers walking up to your door, then I wouldn't worry about it. No news is good news. And then I
Yeah.
said, "Hey, thanks, asshole. Appreciate not a single ounce of information." And that was kind of sucky what you just said to me.
Well,
So I don't know. And I was an emotional wreck, like when I get behind a camera, there was I don't know. I don't even know how to explain it because there was a few days there where I didn't schedule any lives. I was like, fuck it. Cause I can't get behind a camera and cry. I
No,
try.
I mean, you're a mother
Mhm.
worried about, and that's the thing is
Yeah.
your mom worried about her kid.
Yeah.
And I mean,
Happens, and I do get choked up still. And, even like I went and I talked about my grandma and, when my grandma died, she was 101 years old and she was like the only family member of mine that, um, I still kept in contact with and like I love her and she loves me. And I was like, she was like my only bloodline that I kept in contact with. And then she died and I got on, here to thank everybody for their condolences and being so supportive because I went no contact with everybody. I don't have support except for
yeah.
the support system that I have here in Texas. But when it comes to my family, like I had nobody reaching out to me. So I really just appreciated everybody's support and I just started bawling. I didn't even post the video because I was like, I can't post a video of me crying on the internet. I don't
Yeah.
know. There's a vulnerability in it that it just kind of I don't know. I fall apart
You
when
know,
shit's not rolling. I mean, Derek has seen me kind of fall apart so many times over the last year, 2 years now, about my son because I'm
Mhm.
pissed and I don't know where to direct my anger sometimes. Sometimes I direct it at him, sometimes I direct it at the army, sometimes I direct it at myself for supporting him. But, I do speak out about what's happening. And I've had some people say, um, like, you're a hypocrite. How could you, support your son in the military, but not support the military and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, it's a really fucked up situation that I'm in, I guess. I don't know. It's like there two things can
because
be at the same time.
because it's you support, the person who is your son and not the institution that is the military, which has gotten worse and worse. Like I I was raised both my parents were federal employees, right? Back when like there was a like you could make a good living with that, there was a respect there, like and it influenced me in huge ways. I mean, like I I can remember we lived in Prince George County, Maryland, right? Before white flight and all that kind of stuff happened. And we had, I mean, I'm like a kid, and my dad worked for the National Weather Service, and it was considered the work, like it was one of the working man's bureaus, right? It's not like state or whatever with that's Ivy League and all this, and you have these different things. And we had people over at the house that were like, it was nothing to me. Like it was Hispanics, Asian Americans, Black folks, you name it.
Yeah.
And they're all federal employees. They're all talking the same kind of language. They're all just like, like so and so works at office of budget, OBM or whatever. It's like this person works over here, this person works over here, and they're all friends. And like the first instance I got of racism was we had a bunch of people that pulled up in their cars, and the cops came and they're writing down license plates because our racist neighbor across the street, this was a Sunday afternoon, called the cops on us. And I remember my dad being on the phone, and he was director of labor force management for the National Weather Service. And he's throwing that tile around to the county sheriff, Prince George County Sheriff. And he says, if so much as anybody that I know or their family members get even a parking ticket, I will dig into your ass and I will find ways to make sure you get absolutely all of your federal funding cut. It's like, you can check my name. I was this decision. I testified before Congress. I freaking know this Congress person. I know that. I mean, real. And he was like, I'm seeing the first instance of my dad, a white guy, uses power to like check that shit. And as they went through federal service, I saw federal employees get more maligned, more cuts, more problems, to where the prestige that FDR kind of started back in the day, where he envisioned like an active federal government with a smart, a bureaucratic core of college educated people to run the government, right?
Yep.
Not to be in government, but to run the government that we had since, the New Deal, all the way up and into Reagan, and then Clinton cut it even more, right? I saw that get minimized more and more. I saw the same thing happen in the military. And that's what you're seeing now, is like all this Doge and all these cuts and all these things to like the people that, and I have friends now that have like smart people that have left federal service. My sister got blackballed out of federal service. A woman who was a West Pointer, 2 master's degrees, presidential management fellowship, a graduate certificate from Notre Dame, was going through, like complex PTSD when she worked at Department of Interior, had documented from her therapist, was documented in the military, right? And was like, hey, I just need to work from home for a couple days. No, we're actually gonna, you can't perform your duties, so we're gonna fire you, and then cut all this, right? Yeah. So you don't get a retirement. Spent 7 years fighting it. That's what we're dealing with from these people.
Yeah.
Who like have this. When I say like, I'll say stuff like, this is what they've taken from me. This is what they've taken from us, right? My dad once worked, he was in West Texas, okay? Before I was born in Victoria, right? And he would bounce around because he got blackballed because he testified before Congress in the 1970s, right? About horrible labor conditions in the National Weather Service. And they tried to blackball him. So the first thing they did was they would bounce him around the stations in Texas, right? Yeah. And he once stayed up for 72 hours when there was a flood. In that same area, all those girls got killed. Yeah. He stayed up for 72 hours manning a weather station and helping other people man it and his thing was accurate, timely weather information saves lives.
It does.
In a flood situation, in a heavy rain situation, he was that guy. And then afterwards, to thank him for that, right? They said, we're going to promote you. We're going to make you a station manager. Cool. Where are you going to send me? Point Barrow, Alaska, with your wife and 2-year-old son. If you want to keep a career in the National Weather Service, you've got to go to Point Barrow in the Alaska region, which is above the Arctic Circle, right?
Yeah.
So my dad took my mom and me, and we went to Point Barrow, Alaska, and he turned the worst station performing in metrics in the National Weather Service to the best
Wow.
inside of 2 years, right? And so then the director of the National Weather Service personally flew up to see my dad and was like, "I need to see the man who did this," right?
Mhm.
And the guy was like, "How come you're not on my? How come you're not in Washington?" "Oh, well, sir, I'm so and so. I was this decision because I spoke out." And he's like, "Okay, well, why aren't you on my staff?" "Well, sir, you only have like 13s on your staff. I'm a GS 11." He says,
Mhm.
"All right, I'm going to temporarily make you a GS 13, and you're going to come to Washington
Nice.
because I want you on my staff." And that's how my dad got out of being blackballed,
Mhm.
right? But that's the thing is like, you don't, every time we cut one of these things, like with the USS Abraham Lincoln,
Mhm.
there's a whole bunch of, my dad's name was Gene Poag. There's a whole bunch of Gene Poags on that ship that are going above and beyond, that are doing what they got to do to make it run. And when they get home, are they staying in? No,
No, they're bouncing.
they're getting out.
Yeah.
And that hurts every single one of us, all of us. Because what happens is the shit heels, they stay in.
Always.
The
Well,
good people,
that is
they
it too.
leave.
The last text message that he sent me, like one of the last text messages that he sent me was he said, "Mom, I'm getting out. This is, but he's not getting out. I don't think he gets out. I don't think his service is up until the end of the year or
Yeah.
beginning of next year. So I'm still, it's just one of those things where it's like, when is that again? I don't really remember. I just know that when I look at the old photos of his basic training, they say March of 2023. So I think he started basic training um, either
Oh,
the
so he's on a two. So
end of
he's
the
on a
year.
2-year.
He's on
No,
6 years.
he did a four. I think he did 4-year active and then 2-year inactive is
Oh,
what
okay.
it's.
So
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So,
Yeah. So
he's
yeah.
technically not gonna be out until the end of this year or beginning of next year. So until that happens, I'm just sitting here waiting, and then, I can't even tell you how many times we get an unexpected knock at the door or the doorbell, and my everything just drops because
Yeah.
nobody comes to our house. Even the kids' friends, we know ahead of time if they're coming over.
Mhm.
So when I get those like
so
unexpected knocks or the doorbells, I look at Derek and like my eyes get real big, and I'm just like,
yeah.
"Go look." I won't even answer the door.
No, I go
It
I go
scares
ahead.
me to death.
Here's the thing. The reason that I think the way everything is gone, and I was telling this to my stepson this earlier today. I said, "Look, the American dream is a pipe dream, and it was a pipe
Yeah.
dream that they sold the population because it was not for everybody; it was for those few." Now, once the '60s came and we had the integration of schools in the '70s, and when we started doing all the civil rights movement, that's when they realized that these people believe that the American dream is for them. We need to
Mhm.
prove and show them that it's not. So the the biggest thing that I found kind of sobering after being in my service and after being in Intel and after doing all this stuff that I've done
Yeah.
is the understanding that the American dream is for them. And our job is to make it possible for them. But it's just like with this AI bubble bullshit, right?
Yeah.
Look, Elon Musk is not building spaceships and planning a moon base for you to be at because you don't have a seat. It's just your mind and your body that is going to make that dream right for them. So the
Right.
mindset that we have to say is if we actually believe that the American dream is for us, instead of us busting our balls in order to make them so much money, we need to flip this triangle upside down. And we need to put us at the top and make them
Right.
bust their balls to keep us because we're what makes the money. We're the
Right.
intellectual property, right? You don't have, like, I'm sorry. You can get to the top. You've done your part. But at some point, there's a disconnect that happens.
Yeah.
And you stop paying attention to the people that brought you that create this, right? I'm
Mhm.
Jeff Bezos. At one point, he's probably a decent guy. I don't know him, But when he was working out of his fucking garage, I guarantee he wasn't that much of a trifling asshole. But
No.
now that he's there where he's at, he has forgotten that the people at the bottom that you consider the bottom are actually your most prized possession, because those are the people that make you the billions of dollars by doing the job, like you said, that are doing it in the worst conditions, that are doing it for their family. And they're willing to sit there and just plow that shit in order just to make sure they can pay their bills and put food on the table.
Because again, I followed a lot of like just sort of the rabble rousing and kind of how I treat people, and a lot of the management philosophy is like I had one of those. Again, my dad was a complex, kind of complicated guy, and one of the things that he told me he loved me twice in my life, right?
Mhm.
But starting about 7 years old, we'd be in the car going somewhere or whatever, and all of a sudden he would just start saying, "Son, you ever find yourself managing people?" And then he would just start telling me a leadership lesson. And I didn't realize until after he was gone, he died from cancer when I was 21. I was like, oh shit, that was my dad trying to emotionally connect with me, was all those. And I remember, I mean, dozens of times it would just be, we're sitting out on the back porch after we done yard work. And he's just sitting there. And all of a sudden he's just like, son, do you ever find yourself managing people? And he would just give me a leadership lesson. Right. And so
I've heard
when
you
I
do
went into
that sometimes, like a lot of the times, Derek isn't, when I first met Derek, he always told me, he's like, I don't know how to show like emotion because
Yeah.
I don't even really know what emotions are, because the army kind of ripped it out of me, war ripped it out of him. He was either happy or angry, because he always says anger gets shit done. So
Yeah.
then, I would help him give language to some of the things that he was feeling, and he would be kind of describing how he felt, and I'm like, "Oh, well, you feel melancholy." That, and I would start giving him this different language, and he's like, "Yeah, melancholy. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. I feel melancholy." And I'm like, "Okay, well, why do you feel melancholy?" And then he'll start telling me things. But when I first met Derek, he was such a hard ass on the kid. He was like a little drill sergeant with the kids. And then I walked in and I'm like, hell fucking no, we ain't treating little people like this. I was like, we're gonna try bonding, okay?
I need you to move at the speed of me. I need you to be there 0 to the 30. I need you to be squared away. I need you to stop doing that. Yeah. Yeah.
And then I came in and it was funny because he would just be like, get your stuff, go over there. And I'm like, please.
Oh yeah, no, yeah, dude.
Yeah.
I had man when I remember like I was with a friend. This was years ago, and I had to. Yeah, I'm much more chill now, but it's just like I remember I kind of had my dad come out at me where it was one of her kids was acting up, and she was trying to be like, okay, like Theo, we got to do da 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 da, and she's being real, and he's carrying on, and I went, and all of a sudden I went, hey, no sir, no sir.
And there's a different kind of command hand. There's this one. There's this
No,
one.
I did the knife
there's this
hand.
one.
I did the straight on knife hand, and it's like for those of you who are in the military, you know what this is.
Mhm.
You know what the knife hand is.
Yeah.
What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing?
Oh yeah, if it's coming over the top, it's like
You better run.
You said do major pay because I do like, oh, children.
oh, dude, I had, dude, our drill instructor like it. I had one sergeant dude it was at School of Infantry, and all he would do is go, "Yo, stop! You are wrong. Stop being wrong."
I got one for you. I'll do one more story. Okay, one more story. And it is
go for it.
It's a gay drill sergeant. We're out doing PT in the morning. Okay. You know how you do the hip thrust, whatever. And so we're all out there PTing. And in the probably about 25, 30 yards away off to the side over here, I hear, ew, ew, ew. And all of us at this point,
with this shit.
Yeah, I'm sitting out. So we're doing the
with this shit.
Superman where you got one knee down, one hand up, right? We're trying to do this. And over here on the side, I hear, ew, ew. And so we all just kind of looked over. and they were doing hip thrusts. And this girl was over there doing hip thrusts. And Drill Sergeant Page was over here talking to some other people, and he looks over, and the other black drill sergeant, it's two black drill sergeants, and he look over, that fucking brown round comes down, and he starts charging his ass over there. Right? He starts charging over there, and he goes, and she's, yeah. He goes, what the fuck are you doing? And she said, hip thrust, drill sergeant. He goes, stop making that noise. Why are you making that noise? Stop making that noise. And so he's trying not to laugh. The black female drill sergeant's dying. And she's like, but that's how I do it, drill sergeant. Like, she kept doing this noise. And we're dying. We're dead. We're over here. We're crying on the floor. We're grown. We're in the grass, laughing.
That's also his impression of me, by the way. I think that's just his universal girl impression, because when he does impressions of me too, that's what I sound like apparently.
But so we had to, baby, we had to ask her. We were like, later on, like, we were outside after the chow, right? We're waiting, we're forming up behind the chow. And we went, wait, why are you making that noise? And she's like, because I'm putting out effort. And we were like, yeah, but why? What did you do before you came to the Army? She goes, oh, I was a stripper. And my buddy next to me goes, noises make sense. That makes sense right there. I went, oh, no. No.
All right, everybody. Thank you so much for joining this today. I think it's time to wrap it up.
No way.
Hey, the Army is a wild place. Military as everybody, but everybody always comes together right there at the end, and we all just realize that we're in this for one damn mission, and it's to get to the end, graduate, and move on. But
so, you know, when I went through in 95, man, like, so in the Marine Corps, men and women don't train together, right? You have the women's barracks, and you got the men, like the men's is separate, right?
Right.
And man, so when we were at AIT, a lot of bad stuff happened to me in AIT.
Yeah, bad stuff happens at AIT.
Yeah, when I went to, because you go to another barracks, you go to the other side of the island, and they put you up, and then you go back to your, I went back to 3rd Battalion, like, or, my platoon did. And we were on the top floor, and it was like, there's one building going like this, and another one like this, right? And the women were in this building, and we're in this building, and where we were, we had a direct eyesight line on the women's side from the top floor, right? And they used to come out every night. They had, like, I don't know what the hell they did with it, but they had like these green, like the towels and stuff, and they'd go hang them up on the damn. They had like these metal drying clotheslines or whatever, right? And they hang them up every night, and they all come out, and it was like a damn show because they put lights out, and we had to get up to 04, and here come these women out, and we're all like, like, it's like one of those old West movies, like, oh, there go the woman. They drying their bloomers, man. Like, oh, look at that. And we was all in the rack, and we get up and we go look, everybody be quiet. Don't let the head come out. Don't let him come out, and we're looking.
Lemonade.
And doesn't, and so, like, I'm sitting there, and I snuck out the rack, and I'm sitting there looking through the window, right? And a couple other guys come with me, and one of the guys goes, hey, you see anything good? And I said, yeah. And so he yells it out, and I said, oh yeah, man, I see some good stuff. He's like, and I hear Sergeant Norman's voice go, you see anything good, Poag? And I was like, fuck.
Damn.
Right?
I can see the floor from right here.
Bro, he took like 4 of us, right? And he didn't take us out to the pit. He takes us over to the other barracks, right? And gets the women drill instructors.
Oh, no.
Yeah. And brings them out and says, let me tell you what my recruits were doing. Right? They're over here looking at all these WMs. Was that what it is? You like to peep? You like to be a peeping Tom?
Oh, no.
Is that what it is? No. You like to be a peeping
when
Tom?
They ask the retort, like they ask the questions. That's when the
stuff. It's like, and dude, again, I guess because I was getting immune to it because I was one of the quarterdeck warriors at this point, right? Bro, there was this one woman, man. She was like 5'8", just all ripped and slender. Like, she'd be like doing the IBF pro kind of fitness stuff now. And she goes, she comes up to me and she literally gets up on her toes and she's trying to get right in my face. And she's like, "You want me to bend over for you right here? You want me to bend over for you? Like, is that what you want, you pervert?"
Nope.
Right? And I broke it. And I swear to God, I broke it. I looked at her in the eyes and I went,
Oh, here comes the hat. Here we go.
I just shrugged, you know?
Yeah.
Boom.
That's an over the head.
Yeah.
No, no, dude, she backed up and she's like, "Get your ass down to the table."
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. It's over. You know what? It's power hour. You about to find out. You about to find out how little you have.
Keeping perv. T-shirt.
I mean, they were fully clothed. There was all these WMs coming out in their PT gear, hanging up their towels. And here's the worst part, bro. They knew we was looking, right? Because there's all these guys just, pressed up against the wall, like with the glass and shit, you know. And man, they're all like, you had a couple that would drop their towels and they do the bend over stuff, and like, and it's like because we had the green satin mesh shorts, right? That were like, and they're bending over and just like, teasing you. And it's just like,
the Marines is different. No,
bro,
There's difference.
bro,
different. Like I said, we
Yeah.
pretty trained with them, so it really wasn't nothing. But the random stuff that would just pop off, you're just going. And most of the time, it was you just sit there and you just look at it go down. And you're like, is drill sergeant about to fight this woman? And
yes,
yes, I seen the hat come off. I seen that, and I looked and I saw the rank come off the chest. And she,
Yeah, that's when you joined when they could still put hands on you, huh?
well, we tore up our ace card. Yeah, they do. Yeah, and she goes wood line, and that girl goes, "I'm gonna whoop your ass," and she goes out to the wood line, and they go out, and we're all sitting. This is at the behind the chapel, so we out the back of the church because I wanted some free candy and hear my huro music, and so we're sitting there looking, and you just see him go to the wood line, and you were just.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, man.
Coming. And then she drugged this girl out by her leg, and she's like, and she's just dragging her, and she pulls her out, and she's your problem now. And she puts her ring back on, pops the hat, walks the fuck back off. We clear out. We're like, "No, hey, we good. We don't need no smoke. Don't need no smoke." Get this woman some candy. She is pissed.
We used to have, man, we're on the highway, right? So you had like the way it was, and you had like the racks going down the line, and we would have we had the communal shower, right?
Oh,
okay. So what you have is like we pull it out, like you pull out your foot lockers, and you're on. They had what they called the DI highway, right?
yeah, because
And it was one side it was called boots and brass, where you shine your brass and you shine your boots, and the other side would get in the shower, right? So I was on port side, so they say like port side boots and brass, starboard side shower up. And so and you repeat it. So so the thing was, man, some guys would preset their locks to get, because they tell you like, "Hey, go over here and go get
and
this,"
then
right?
do is pop it down and go.
And you pop it down
Go.
because we had master locks. Everything on was master lock.
Yep.
And I'm shining up my brass, and there was a guy across the Napier was across from me, and Featherstone's going down the highway. And this is the first time he did this. He started kicking the master locks on the foot lockers on the other side, just like kick. He gets to Napier across from me, kick, chink.
The worst sound in the world.
Right? And he goes, and I look up. I literally, you're not supposed to look at the drill instructor, right? But I looked up, and he looks at me, and he goes, "Poag," this is the guy that doesn't raise his voice. He goes, "What's the rule for being away from unsecured piece of gear, foot locker included?" And I had to stand up. I'm like, "Sir, the rule for being about unsecured blah 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 is 1 arm's distance, sir." He says, "Good to go."
Did you close your eyes when you did it too?
Picks it up, right? Starts walking down the highway, goes into the head, right?
Oh shit!
And we're all. It literally, it's like out of a movie. We're all kind of we all stop shining. We're just like leaning over.
Happens like that.
And it's quiet. And all of a sudden we hear, "Get the hell out of my damn way." Boosh! Through the whole damn Foot Locker into the shower, and it busted.
Oh,
because it was a wooden footlocker, right? Busted.
Damn.
Yeah.
Damn.
God.
Yo, and it was just you were like, Napier comes out. He's like, man, why didn't you? He was like, what the fuck am I supposed to do? You
No.
know, what do you want me to do?
Why
Right?
did you stop him?
He's like, yeah, what? Yeah, it's like he literally was like, bro, what? He goes to me. He goes, he does this. I'm like, wait, what am I supposed to do?
You don't just hand my soul over for fun, dude. All right, I ain't
Wait,
doing
what? Am I supposed to wrestle it for? No,
Not my
you
dad,
can't do
dude.
this, Daddy.
Oh, no, do it.
You want me to grab onto his leg as he's no, Daddy, no, come back, Daddy.
Well, thank you guys for so much for the I mean, like, this is basically, like, everybody thank you for coming to the Fred and Derek show tonight. It's been a pleasure. I've been watching and listening just like you guys, and I've actually this has actually been really great because for the first time, I've actually been able to pay attention
Look
to
at
the
the
chat
comments.
and answer the chat. Yeah, it's been actually kind of nice, so we'll have to do the Fred and Derek show again sometime.
Everybody hear our military story.
Yeah, military stories are great. I love military stories.
Well, mama, get my field knife.
Oh my god.
Let's go, honey. Let's go.
Like, yeah, you can hear and then there's my redneck country stories of when I was working in the club scene in East Tennessee.
That's next time. You save that stuff.
Oh, it's good stuff,
Save it
buddy.
for next time. The next time is gonna be redneck stories. Jesus Christ, help me.
Oh, I got him. Oh, dude,
So I was drunk. No, go ahead, honey. I'm sorry.
oh, dude, we gonna have them redneck. Oh man,
We have redneck off.
Yeah, I got some Yooper stories. I mean, you guys, you Southerners got the rednecks, and I have the Yooper stories, which is kind of like the Northern redneck. So
I got
here's the thing.
Brahma bulls. Let's go.
It's fun. So here's the funny thing. So like, that Smoky Mountain whiskey that's kind of gone national, which is the Shine. That's the now it's a popular brand of moonshine. So that was actually a recipe from Popcorn Sutton, who was a bootlegger for like decades in East Tennessee and the Gatlinburg area in Tennessee. Actually committed suicide. Was still bootlegging into the 1990s. And the ATF was going after him, and he shot himself in order to not get caught because he would have faced life in prison for bootlegging. And then his family sold the recipe. My claim to fame is I actually went to a field party and had some of Popcorn Sutton's actual moonshine that he made from a still that somebody knew, a family member that brought with him.
wow.
You woke up.
Yeah, but before they bottled it and put it all like, ain't it catchy from East Tennessee? It's Smoky Mountain Peach Moonshine. It's like, no, I had the real Popcorn Sutton moonshine.
I didn't have Popcorn Sutton moonshine, but I had some moonshine when I got down here to Texas. It was a friend's cousin made it, which legit then. And yeah, I tried it and I thought I was gonna die. I had took a swig of it and I swallowed and it felt like lava and I couldn't get it out of my throat. I was like,
oh yeah, oh
I
yeah.
couldn't
Now,
breathe.
see, you got to test it. You got to test it. You got to take some of it and burn it and see how much the flame is now.
Well, I didn't know that. I didn't know you test moonshine. I just took a shot of it. We were doing like a tequila shot. I just
now you got to test it. You got to take the shot, you burn it, and if it's got too much blue in it, you're pretty much drinking. You're pretty much drinking straight poison.
If it's blue, I'm sorry for you. That's the way you think about it.
Yeah. No, you got to test that shit. Sorry. Yeah, you got to test it. But we can tell redneck stories all day.
Hell
And
yeah.
it looks like the people want this. They want the Derek and Fred show. So I think we're gonna try to come up with some kind of a recurring series here for it because we got to give the people what they want.
Fred and Derek story time, where we just tell war stories. We tell sea stories all day long.
Man.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
It's funny. I'd love to do that because, man, every time I get on, it's like, we got to talk about the events today, and it's got to be serious, and we got to do this and that, and it's like, nah, man, I want to tell the crazy stories I went through.
Yeah, it's good to just kind of cut loose sometimes and just talk, and I don't know,
Trying to
I
do all
get so
kinds of
fucking tired of the news after a while. I'm just like, I don't wanna talk about any of that. I just wanna talk about, this one time that, I went to a party in college and, did a beer bong for the first time, Like, let's talk
I
about
got
that stuff.
I see, my story would be like, I could tell you about the time in New Year's when I kissed a woman who ended up having a husband and was looking for her and his 2 brothers, and I had to
And
fight. So I got a kiss and a fight on New Year's.
I can tell you, yeah, well, I can't tell you about that one because no, can't tell you about that one. You know what? We're gonna have to think about this one because there are some stories that I probably cannot tell.
Yeah.
I'm sure. I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sure. It doesn't I
You
don't
I mean, you can. You just gonna have to get the lawyer first. As soon as you tell it, you calling the lawyer,
You know that guy that got stabbed in the ding ding back in
Yeah.
it wasn't me. It really wasn't. It was a New Year's Eve party. That shit
As
was
long
great.
as none of the stories start out with, I just want to first of all say to my dear wife, Eve, I love you.
Yeah, I love
And
you.
I was a different man back then,
I used to get drunk and swing off the roof and land
Yeah.
on a trampoline and jump into a pool. I used to
Alright, before I tell the story, you promise you're not gonna get mad. You
yeah,
promise?
yeah, I promise more than that. So, there's just a
No,
reason
I
No,
why
yeah,
love
I
like to
graduated.
wrap up it'll be dumb stories like we had to tear down at SOI, like we got new bunks and mattresses. And so between the 2 barracks, you had the which is 2 stories up, right? You know, and you had the metal walkway with just and with the safety railings, and we're, throwing mattresses off of it, right? And they're starting to pile up. And us grunts go, hey, wait a minute.
You can jump on that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
And we did.
Yeah.
And we got smoked for that too.
Everything.
I
Yeah. Well, we need to wrap this up, guys. Like,
I
let's
know.
so you need to shut up.
You got to give us the hand. You got to give us the hand. That's enough.
That's enough.
End the show. End the show.
That'd be enough of this. I've had it all. Get to the end.
Who says my name without fear?
Who says my name without the fear?
Oh my god, it's never ending. I'm just gonna end it. Fred, thank you so much for being here. I love you, man. You're great. And of course, Derek, you're my one and only. You're great. I love you too. And thank you everybody for joining us in the chat. This was so much fun tonight. I think we're gonna do it. I think we're gonna try to set
Yeah.
up a recurring Derek and Fred show. And then they said that I'm the hall monitor. So yeah. So we'll get something set up and we'll have, we'll tell redneck and Youper stories next time, and yeah,
Oh my
we'll
God.
go to town. Maybe one of these. No, we're not actually. I almost said maybe one of these days we'll talk about the running list of amberisms that Derek has logged in his phone. So back in my drinking days, I used to just say things,
She did.
and I've been sober for
No. We are doing a show on that. And
I
you're
don't
going to
think
tell
we
them the
should.
name.
I don't
So,
think we should because I am gonna lose all of my subscribers.
no, because I want to hear it. And then I can react to it. Like, it'll be a reaction show. And it's like, on this
So,
day,
I mean, yeah,
Amber
I
said,
just said some really just out of pocket. Actually, they're not as bad as the stuff that you guys say, I think.
oh my God, no.
Oh, no, honey. You don't
We just
understand. I currently have 53 amberisms that I just got
Yeah.
through looking through some of them.
That's love right there, to
We
be
can't
honest.
say
My most recent thing that you said, just give them one, but don't like, give them the
No,
really
that's
bad.
love right there. Like, that is
I
love.
will give you the first one because you were talking about somebody that was
I'm afraid.
it was a
I'm afraid. I'm literally
politician,
afraid.
and she was talking just noise, and you said, she's the kind of girl who would chew on from under cheese to make a delicate pate and spread it across the roof of her mouth. Savor the flavor all day. You said that about that woman because she was a terrible
She was a
politician.
bitch. Yeah.
She was a bitch. And that was when you just looked at me and said it. And I just remember going, Jesus Christ, I've
This is
never
why I
heard
quit
of
I
drinking.
love that. Oh my God, I
I've
love
been
that.
sober for 4 years now, and when I'd be I would just something would come to my brain, and I would just blah. And then Derek,
Dude, I could do a.
You do this. He go. Can you say that one more time?
But look, I talk crazy, and what you hear on this lot, no, I talk crazy and just let it out. But I have never been on the receiving end of such wordage, and usually I'm the one that says the stuff and makes everybody laugh. So I got to sit back and be the one that gets to laugh. So I said, if it makes me laugh and it stops me in my tracks, that's an amber. It gets written down. I've got what, 53 of those?
That's amazing. Oh my God.
No.
You know what? We can have that as like every show.
Delicate.
We can have an amber. We can have an amberism.
We're gonna close with an amberism.
Yes, every show we're closing with an amberism.
2021 amberism. Okay.
Oh my God, we have a.
I don't know why I do that. I'm gonna have to have my lawyers look that over.
We just came up with a show. Like, this is amazing. Like, this is great.
I don't know if we came up with a show. I'm not.
Oh, we did.
Attorneys looking
we
over.
did.
I'm looking at some of these right now, and I'm like, babe, you have no idea the shit you.
Oh, that's
I
amazing.
do have an idea of the shit I said, and it's embarrassing. So
no, it's not. It's really not.
It's
absolutely amazing. I'm here. I'm here to support all of it. Right? You know,
you're a rabble rouser. I can't trust you. You're not going to tell me the truth.
No, I did tell you the truth. It's just that it's my truth. And remember who the guy I am. You know, remember what I do. I am Lance Corporal Shitster. That's what I do.
Yeah, we're the bad influence, and we're okay with that because the world needs more bad influence like this.
Oh my God, yeah. I am not the guy who's like, you know, I wouldn't do that. I'm the guy who's like,
do it.
Freaking do that.
Do it, but do it naked. That'll show them.
Anyway, this was great tonight, everybody. I am a changed woman. I don't think we're gonna do the amberisms. That one, I can't stop thinking about it now, and I'm just like, what the?
You know what we're gonna do? We're gonna put out a poll. We are gonna put out a poll of, and we're gonna take yes, and they're gonna want the amberisms. I'm telling you right now.
No,
like they're gonna want them.
The amberisms. I'm telling you.
It's gonna be like it is gonna be like Christopher Walken and that one skit on SNL. Like I'm telling you, you're gonna want that cow. We're gonna be like, I'm telling you, you're gonna want that amberism. You're gonna want that in there. You know. You're gonna want that in there.
Maybe I'll write a book. Shit Amber said. The crazy thing about that is when he read that, my son was in the chat.
Hey, buddy.
Exposure to the world.
He's 25. He's all right.
Yeah, you're good. You're good. You know.
All right, guys. This is the 7th time now. 6th, 7th, 8th.
I've had enough of your shit. Get it off here. Let's go.
Yeah, it's time to go. All right. I love you guys. Have a great evening. Tonight was so much fun. Okay. I don't know if I'm coming down with something or my allergies, but man, I've been clearing my throat all night. All right. Bye, Fred. I'll see you in a minute, dear. And bye, everybody in the chat. See you next time.
See you.
Yeah. Bye.